He qualified 11th, advanced to the top 10, and then everything fell apart. One poor action sent cars flying, ignited a firestorm of criticism, and surprised fans. Was that a rookie mistake, or proof that he doesn't belong in professional racing? This is how Cleetus McFarland's ARCA race became the most talked about race of the season. Garrett Mitchell, online known as Cleetus McFarland, has established an empire around speed and spectacle. He's more than just a content creator, having hosted large car events and even launched his own racetrack. He has become an emblem of automotive culture. Despite having a dedicated fan base and real-world track expertise, entering the ARCA Menard Series at Charlotte was a risky move. This was not his first ARCA start, but it was his first time on a 1.5-mile intermediate oval, which was very different from the superspeedways he had previously tried. On May 23, 2025, McFarland arrived at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the 5th race of the season, knowing the stakes were high and all eyes were on him. Despite being new to this level of competition, McFarland arrived prepared. He qualified 11th in a lineup full of experienced drivers and future NASCAR prospects. As the race began, he went swiftly into the top 10 and settled into a steady rhythm. Then came the first warning. Most teams went into the pits for new tires, but McFarland and his crew took a gamble. They stayed outside. It was a risky move designed to gain track position, and it worked. McFarland sat in the front row next to Grant Enfinger, a veteran with decades of expertise. McFarland's lack of familiarity on an intermediate oval became apparent as the green flag was dropped. He spun his tires just enough on the restart to stop momentum and cause a ripple effect down the outside line. William Sawalik, attempting to avoid contact, hit McFarland's rear and pushed him into Isabella Robusto. Robusto's automobile crashed into a wall. The chain reaction did not end there. Nearly 10 vehicles were involved in the collision, including senior racers and rookies, whose races ended in a pile of twisted metal and disappointment. Everything stemmed from a single restart mistake. Fans and critics exploded. Social media erupted with conflicting perspectives. Was Cleetus in over his head? Should influencers race at this level? Some complimented his courage and determination. Others questioned the legitimacy of allowing YouTubers into professional circuits. Drivers like Isabella Robusto were understandably frustrated. She was on a good run before the crash. Many questioned the decision to put McFarland on outdated tires, particularly given his lack of experience. However, while emotions were high, McFarland's response would influence the narrative going forward. In post-race interviews and on his own platforms, McFarland accepted full responsibility. He did not avoid inquiries or blame others. Instead, he recognized his error, acknowledged the difficulties of transitioning to intermediate tracks, and thanked his staff and fans for sticking with him. "I want to start out by apologizing to the team that I took out," McFarland told Fox Sports 1 after the race. "I think it was several cars. I just feel terrible. Every time I go racing, I don't want to get taken out. I felt it. It sucks. I made a complete rookie maneuver on the restart. I zigged and then I zagged and then she was blowing my door off, and on the zag, I hit her and put her in the wall. I feel terrible about it." He stated that racing in Charlotte was 100 times harder than competing at superspeedways like Daytona or Talladega, and that he felt humbled on that restart. That humility and transparency earned respect, even from critics. In an era when few public leaders accept responsibility, McFarland's sincere apology demonstrated that he wasn't just after power. He was serious about winning his spot on the racetrack. Despite the pandemonium, McFarland refused to quit. His car had been damaged. His prospects of reaching the podium were gone, but he kept going. He clawed his way forward, lap by lap. At the end of the race, he finished 9th, his highest ARCA result to date. It was not a win. It was not even a clean run. But it was gritty and determined, and it demonstrated to both fans and fellow drivers that Cleetus McFarland wasn't just there for the camera. He was there to race. While the wreck garnered headlines, another driver, Austin Green, issued his own comment. In only his second ARCA appearance, he led 52 laps and won for the first time in his career. Green, driving the number 82 for Pinnacle Racing Group, held off heavyweights like as Grant Enfinger and LeVar Scott to secure the victory. This performance provided another layer to the night, with fresh talent emerging, veteran names displaying consistency, and the ARCA field demonstrating that it is one of the most competitive developing series in motorsports. McFarland's ARCA success revived the argument over whether influencers and online personalities should be permitted to race in professional motorsport series. Some say that it brings new perspectives, new fans, and increased revenue. Others argue that it dilutes the sport and puts inexperienced drivers in unsafe circumstances. He was visibly upset with himself, banging the wheel with his fists and smacking the top of his helmet inside the race car. "I blew it," he radioed to the squad, describing it as a rookie mistake. The Charlotte wreck provided ammo to both sides. For detractors, it demonstrated that viral fame did not imply racecraft. For fans, McFarland's top 10 finish and post-race maturity demonstrated his worth. Cleetus McFarland is far from done. He's already talking about the next race, the next test session, and the next chance to improve. He realizes he made a mistake, but he also knows he can improve. With each start, he learns about the culture, etiquette, and pressures of racing, as well as the technical aspects. And he's doing it all in front of millions of people, under intense scrutiny. He is also introducing something fresh to the sport: mainstream recognition. His fan base is vast, and each move he makes on the track draws a new audience to ARCA. Sponsors take note. Broadcasters show interest, and now a previously unknown developmental series is making news. But the attention is a double-edged sword. Every misstep is emphasized. Every decision is questioned. McFarland is not only competing against other drivers, but also against public image. The struggle ahead is more than just how to win. It's about proving his right to be here in the first place. What happens next may make or break his racing career. Will he fade after the headlines? Or will he silence the detractors and become a significant force in ARCA, and possibly beyond? The 2025 General Tire 150 was more than just another race. It was a watershed event for Cleetus McFarland. He caused a wreck that altered the course of the race, but he also shown that he could handle the heat, learn from it, and continue racing. He didn't leave with a trophy, but he also won respect from fans, racers, and the racing community, which now recognizes his name, not just from YouTube, but from his performance on the track. One thing is certain: we will hear more about Cleetus McFarland in ARCA. Following Charlotte, everyone will pay closer attention. Do you think Cleetus has what it takes to succeed in professional racing, or was Charlotte just lucky? Leave your thoughts in the comments, since his next race could prove everyone incorrect. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next part. What happens next could define Cleetus McFarland's entire motorsports arc. After Charlotte, it's clear he's no longer just a YouTuber dabbling in racing. He's a legitimate competitor facing real pressure, real consequences, and real opportunity. The wreck was a gut punch, no doubt. But what followed, a 9th place finish, accountability on camera, and a renewed fire to improve, hinted at something deeper: growth. Now comes the hard part. Will Cleetus double down on his racecraft, learning the technical nuance and mental discipline needed to survive in ARCA? Or will the spotlight, scrutiny, and sheer pace of this world overwhelm even his determined spirit? With more starts ahead and bigger tracks looming, each decision, from tire strategy to restarts, will be under the microscope. Behind the scenes, the pieces are aligning. He's gaining seat time, building relationships, attracting new eyes to the sport, and whether fans love him or question his place, they're watching, which is more than can be said for most ARCA rookies. The next race won't just be about lap times. It'll be a litmus test. Has Cleetus learned from Charlotte? Can he rise from controversy into consistency? The answer may not come in a single finish or viral moment. It'll come quietly, lap after lap, race after race, until even his harshest critics admit it. The guy who blew the restart might just become the guy who belongs. One thing's for sure, the Cleetus McFarland story in ARCA isn't over. It's just getting warmed up.